the dead, before blind eyes opened, before storms obeyed his voice. Jesus prayed, but not the way many people imagine. Most believers are taught that prayer is mainly asking, pleading, and hoping. We are taught to pray harder, longer, louder, and if nothing happens, we assume God said no, or our faith was not enough. Yet, when you carefully read the Gospels, you discover something surprising. Jesus did not pray in desperation. He did not beg God to act. He prayed from alignment, not anxiety. And this is something the church rarely explains clearly anymore. Today, we are looking at the kind of prayer Jesus practiced before miracles, using Scripture, not opinion, and we will see a clear pattern that still matters today. When Jesus fed the 5,000, he did not panic because the crowd was large, or complain that the resources were small. Scripture says he took the 5 loaves and 2 fish, looked up to heaven, and gave thanks. Before the miracle multiplied, gratitude came first. Thanksgiving preceded provision. John 6, verse 11. John chapter 6 tells us the food did not increase until after Jesus gave thanks. The miracle followed gratitude, not pressure. When Jesus stood at the tomb of Lazarus, he did not cry out in fear or uncertainty. He did not beg God to intervene. Instead, he lifted his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me." John 11, verses 41 to 42. Lazarus was still dead when Jesus thanked God. The stone had not been rolled away. The miracle had not yet appeared. But Jesus prayed from confidence, not desperation. He thanked God before the stone was rolled away. Even when Jesus walked on water, Scripture tells us something important first. He had gone up on the mountain alone to pray. Matthew 14, verses 23 to 25. The miracle on the sea was not spontaneous. It was the overflow of time spent in alignment with the Father. Again and again, we see the same pattern. Jesus did not pray to convince God. He prayed because he was already connected to God. This is why his prayers carried authority. So, what do we do with this? Here is a simple biblical starting point. Here is a principle many believers miss. Before you ask God for what you need, thank him first. Sit quietly. Acknowledge God's presence. Thank him for what he has already done. Thank him for what he is doing right now, even if you cannot see it yet. And thank him for what he is about to do, because God is not limited by time. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 says, "With thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Thanksgiving comes first. Gratitude shifts your prayer from anxiety to alignment, from fear to faith, from begging to trust. Psalm 37, verses 3 says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." Jesus shows us that miracles do not begin with desperation. They begin with relationship. And when your heart is aligned with God, your prayer stops sounding like panic and starts sounding like partnership. This teaching was never meant to be only about Jesus. Romans chapter 8, verse 14 says, "Those who are led by the Spirit of God are sons of God." Prayer is not about shouting louder. It is about listening deeper. When prayer becomes only asking, we stay anxious. But when prayer becomes alignment, faith becomes steady. God is not moved by volume. He is honored by trust. Now let's look at one of the most misunderstood teachings of Jesus on prayer. In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus says, "When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is in secret." Most people think Jesus was talking about privacy, but the word he used for room is the Greek word tamion. It means an inner chamber, a storehouse, a hidden place. Jesus was not just talking about location. He was pointing to an inward posture. Before you speak outwardly, go inwardly. Close the door to noise. Close the door to fear. Close the door to performance and anxiety. Because the Father is not far away. He is near. Jesus did not pray to convince God. He prayed to commune with God. And from that place, miracles followed. Jesus did not pray to convince God. He prayed to commune with God. And from that place, miracles followed. If your prayer life has felt heavy, Maybe it's not because God is far. Maybe He's inviting you closer. If this teaching helped you see prayer differently, leave a comment and write, "Lord, teach me pray." Subscribe for more scripture-based teachings like this. And share this with someone who's been praying, but feels unheard. God is closer than you think.